Good evening. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your metal market wrap-up for Wednesday. And this is the 27th of October, 2021, about 6:20 p.m. Central Time. I'm taking a vacation. Now, I take one or two a year. I admit that. They're typically no longer than a week or so. While gone, I try to put out most of my updates. Now, I figured out a way, if they have the internet where I'm going, that I can do my YouTube updates later at night and get them to you. The time frame will work in my favor because it's earlier where I'm going rather than later. So all this should work out, but for tomorrow, there will not be one. I can promise you that because I'm going to be in an airplane traveling. By the time I get to where my destination is, get to my room, all the other, blah, 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 I'm going to go out and eat and not worry about the market. Is that fair enough? Okay. So let's talk about the theme of the day, what's going on. We keep hearing on the earnings report that companies don't have the product they need and it's being impacted in their earnings. Very important. What does it mean for the inflation? What does it mean for gold and the other metals? Well, I've been looking for the copper, and I've been saying it, to get back to the 18-day average of closes for a while here. Here's what I think what the earnings and all these numbers mean. The pent-up demand, and it's there. If you need a refrigerator, whether they can deliver it to you now or 5 months from now, it doesn't change that you need that refrigerator. You may buy one you don't that you like as much, but the one you want is still not being made, and it's got to be made. We just keep pushing back this pent-up demand. That also is a bit inflationary. Why? Because what's there, if I'm a seller, I can say, I can get a little more for these products. Why? I don't have any real competition. You take what they've got, and that's it. So I'm not saying it's on every retailer, and I'm not saying it's every product line, but it is there, and it is something to think about, and it's going to be very, very important. The dollar just, if you will, marching along here. Stocks fell today on some bad earnings, then you'll get a day of good earnings. I don't think you've done any damage. And the break in the energies, come on. This is a game that to a degree is rigged. What do I mean by that? Not price rigging, momentum rigging. You're sending our president to the COP26 meeting, right? And to the G20. Do you think energy prices are going to be soaring with Brent at $90 and WTI at 85? No. I would think they're going to back them off a little bit so that those numbers don't become the focus of these meetings. Now, when the meetings end, the game changes. It's my opinion, doesn't mean I'm right, but logic often wins the day. We're watching curve yields change all over the place. Suddenly, the 2-year became alive today at the expense of the back end. Okay, here's what I think. Again, it's all part and parcel of what's going on in the supply chain. And the Fed's going to be looking at that. You have a Fed meeting next week. You know they're going to talk tapering. If you don't, get your head out of the sand. You know they're going to enact it. What we don't know is the time frame. That's what we're going to be hearing from them. So as you look at the gold, we are staying so far, and this is good news, over the 18-week moving average of closes, so the bias has turned back up. You can see the market, once it got there, it's been fighting a battle. That's crystal clear. The trend is still up with higher lows, higher highs. Ideally, the word is ideally, the market won't get under 1783 again, and will try to hold this and try to work itself higher. The battleground is staring you in the face. It's the combination for support of the 18-day average, and unfortunately, it's still under that 1783 zone. So even if it takes it out, that's going to be your next support. But the resistance, crystal clear. The 200-day average, the 100-day average, and voila, the Bollinger Band waiting and saying, even if you get through that, you're not going to go anywhere. That's what I think the market is saying. Momentum-wise, I don't know where that went, but that's slow stochastics. You're sitting here with a market that's overbought, not embedded. So the market is, when it's overbought, this is at least my opinion, doesn't attract new capital. Embed, you attract capital. Get out of the overbought, and if you have an uptrend, you attract it. If you have a downtrend, you attract capital again. When we look at the gold-silver ratio, when it got down here, I said, it's looking like it might have to correct. And come on, that's what you've been getting. And if you just look at the pattern, straight down. Now watch. You get a bounce, you fall back. Think of the swing line patterns we look at. If you take out that high, you have a pattern of higher lows, higher highs. So the swing line trend is up, the bias is down. It's the same identical thing, and that's what the market's trying to do, okay? In the silver market, you lost the embedded reading a couple of days ago. I pointed that out right there. And I was mentioning even that day, I had told my traders, that my subscribers, to buy the SILZ contract is what it turns out to be, according to my longtime broker and good friend Ron Rahm, helping me with the symbols on these 1,000 ounce contracts, which I rarely tell people to trade. You had an embedded reading coming in. Okay, if you drop enough, try to buy. But if it doesn't hold, get out of the market like that. It didn't hold. So what did you risk? $20 bill? That's about it. Okay. Now the market could be working its way back to that 18-day average to regroup. Would not surprise me. Very typical when you lose this reading. You got two resistance points. The time isn't here. That's what the market's saying. In the copper market, I was looking for the 18-day average. Can you overshoot it? Why not? But I think the 100-day is going to be another big support zone. There's no reason to be long, and I mentioned that when you lost the embedded reading right here. I said this game ended. You can't be long anymore. And I don't feel bad. I made the call that I think helped people. Now, what do you do here? Well, let it get oversold. It's going to if it keeps dropping down. Let it see what it does here. It's got to get back up to the 447 level and play around there. There's no rush is what I'm saying. In the platinum, we've dropped enough over the past couple of days. We broke the uptrend. Let me just take you to when it happened. Here is Monday. Tuesday, you break the uptrend. You stalled out right at the 18-day average. You had stalled out prior at the 100. And it's going to fight a little bit, in my opinion. That's what I'm expecting. Can it drop more? Sure. Could it go to all the way down to the lower Bollinger Band? Anything can happen, but it's not trending. It has a higher high and lower low. So it's more that the longs came out and the Johnny-come-latelys didn't get out quick enough. Palladium's been with a pattern of lower highs. You haven't wanted to be long, and now it's oversold. So it's saying, okay, let the last guys come in here. We'll burn them. That's what I think. So somewhere between here and the Bollinger Band, if it wants to bottom, it could. Battleground's going to be the 18-day average. You've checked it out over the past 2 days anyways. And when we come over into the dollar index, the market is stalled again at that 9,400 level, the 18-day average of closes. You're out of a trend. When you hit the Bollinger Band after this break, I said here that I think the pros are coming out, and I think they are, and I don't think they have a position. I think they're going to sit back and say, okay, President Biden's going to the COP26. I think there's a G20 he's got to also attend. We don't know if the Democrats is going to succeed in any type of a bill whatsoever on the reconciliation. The taxes, everything's in the air. They tried to get through the billionaires tax, which to me makes no sense. It's not that billionaires can't pay more money. I don't know that they should pay more money. What do I mean by that? You have tax loopholes, close them. Why are we dealing with those 700 individuals, which I think they would challenge in a court to begin with, instead of closing the loophole? If you change the law and those loopholes are gone, you end up paying the tax. So now they want to come back and say, well, you know something? Let's assume you make over 10 million or 100 million or whatever it is. We'll put a surtax on you. Why are we so after penalizing highly successful people? Penalize us. If we don't have a fair tax code, fix it. It's really that simple. Why don't they get it fixed? Because the politicians, a big degree, are in the pockets of these guys. That's their campaign money. You don't have to believe me, but I'm saying it. That's what I believe. Otherwise, fix the tax code, and we don't have to worry about it. So with that, you might want to take a look at this. While I'm gone, remember I said I do record in the mornings my ETFs and my other videos that I put out. Why? I can run to a Starbucks anywhere and sit down, put on a microphone until they throw me out and say, you're making too much noise with all you're saying. Or I can go to public areas where they have it where I go. I travel different spots all over the world, so most of the times you can do that. And I want to. It keeps me there, and then for the next day or two, I can walk away from the market. Now, I know that not everybody trades futures. That's why as I'm talking to you, the metals, I'm talking the Spiders ETFs. I know you like the GLD, the GDX, the XMEs, the copper stocks. Well, if you do, this might be right up the alley that you like. I cover all these different areas with everything that you might want to look at in both futures and options in our combo package. Get the combo package, $16.90. Not going to break your bank, right? You get 48 videos that month, 24 a week on each, the Spiders ETFs and then the futures markets. What if I come up with a good idea in each one time during the week? Is that worth $16.90? Go to our website, www.iraepstein.com, under the word research. Take advantage of it or call my staff. I'm Ira. I will see you in a week to 10 days, I'm guessing. I don't know. I've got an open end on this, and we'll see what I want to do. Talk to you soon.